This week, my mom and I are gonna be on a mother-daughter trip, exploring all over Wales and seeing everything that Wales has to offer.
We cannot wait for all the adventures we're gonna have and share with you.
In this video, we are gonna be including some of the best things to do in Wales and things you absolutely need to add to your bucket list. From exploring castles and waterfalls to visiting Eryri, Snowdonia National Park, and stunning coastal walks, plus so much more. Today is our first morning in Wales. We got in super late last night after a long luggage and flight issue. It was a super long day. The sun is shining. It is forecasted to rain all day, but fingers crossed we get this beautiful weather.
And hopefully it lasts all day so we can go explore Wales. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Okay, so we are currently driving through the Welsh countryside. We are headed over to an isle. As a Welsh name. I'm just, like always, I'm gonna put all the titles below and try my best to say them, but I will not be getting all of these names right. We are super happy that it is stayed sunny.
It's really nice. I mean, it's warm and comfortable. And
yeah, it's like beautiful weather. We just got to Newborough Nature Reserve and parked here, and we're gonna do this little trail out to the lighthouse. It says that it is 5 miles and it's gonna take us about 3 hours, so we were not prepared for that.
well, we got water. That's all we need.
It's the lighthouse all the way out here. This is the island that we're coming out the peninsula on. There's a few different walking paths that you can kind of take. So we're going to take one out and then take the other one back. Also, I just wanted to mention that this part you cannot get to when it is high tide. So they recommend starting, like being off this island 2 hours before high tide so you have enough time to get down and walk through the beach. So many pretty wildflowers just tucked in all the rocks. You see wild horses. This one horse is like literally up against this man. And oh my god, it's eating their backpack.
They must be pretty tame.
Oh my gosh, this is too funny. These people are just enjoying a picnic and they have to get up because these wild horses are harassing them. This looks straight out of a movie. We're walking up to the lighthouse and there's literally wild horses next to it. How crazy is this? This pony's running. Oh my goodness, gotta catch up with his friends. They've been hanging out by the lighthouse, but as soon as we came over, we scared them off, I guess. You walk around the lighthouse and you get 360 views, some of which we've kind of already seen down on this side. Okay, we came across the wild horses again. I'm gonna be trying to be super quiet so we don't spook them. They are so beautiful. They honestly just look like they're out of a scene from a fairy tale or something. They kept coming up to other people, but they just run from me. Just grazing away. Not a care in the world. So the main reason we came out to this peninsula was to hike to this little lighthouse, but I just wanted to mention that there are tons of other sites and kind of like historic, I don't know if these are old houses. There's, you know, sailboats in the harbor, a few different beautiful beaches down there, just lots of beautiful walking paths, and then I believe that's another lighthouse out there. And of course you have these gorgeous mountain views. So definitely would recommend budgeting more time, not because the hike is necessarily hard, but just to have enough time for photos. Another thing I wanted to mention is that the weather changes constantly here in Wales, as I feel like anywhere in the UK. When we started out, it was super sunny and we were sweating, then it got chilly, and now it's super windy. So we have our raincoats in our backpacks, so just make sure you have, you know, some layers, some things in case it does start raining. But I love this little area. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is great. It's a fantastic day so far.
Now off to a castle. We were leaving to pay and it's free parking today. What a happy surprise. We just got to Caernarfon Castle and it is raining now.
Not too bad.
No, it's just sprinkling. But we're really glad that we were able to do the coastal walk earlier, not in the rain. But we're really excited to kind of explore the castle grounds and see what's inside and learn some of the history. Found the entrance to the castle. They're open 9 to 5 daily, and you can buy tickets online or in person. These birds sound like a movie soundtrack. And the rain is honestly kind of a vibe. It's super cool. Reading the signs along the way to learn some of the history. Oh, it's kind of creepy in here.
There's motion lights.
Oh, it's motion lights.
Really got prisoners.
Looking in the dungeon. Oh my gosh, it's so far down.
There's a bird down there.
You said there's a bird down there?
Look at the bird.
Oh, it has a nest. Would you want to get stuck in here?
No, because I know horror stories about that.
Well, don't tell me, please.
I'm not gonna.
Mom likes all the
There's
morbid,
another
scary
bird.
things.
No, Austin did a research paper on medieval torture.
My brother did a research paper on medieval torture.
It
This
has something
is
to do with that era.
the first time hearing of it. Just wandering through different areas. Found some steps. Seeing where they lead. What do you see?
They keep going up.
Do you hear that noise?
I know they've got somebody in there that doesn't want to be in there.
Oh gosh. It sounds like something is in there.
It probably is.
We're just walking around the castle and we honestly almost have it to ourselves, I think, because of the rain.
Yeah, we kind of thought it was going to be like more indoors, so we held off to walk the castle when it was raining, and little surprise!
It's outdoor.
But it's good. It's just a light sprinkle.
Yeah, it's a light sprinkle. It's honestly kind of makes it kind of moody, and I kind of like it. Oh, wow. This is so pretty. This view is honestly so beautiful. Like, you can see the whole countryside. Like, I feel like when this castle existed, this was the spot to be. Even the views from kind of the castle cutouts, they're super pretty. You can see the whole town. You can actually see on the old castle wall, there's stairs where I'm sure the soldiers used to run along the wall and arm the city back. I don't know, when was this castle built? Any idea?
I don't know, but can you imagine building it? I mean, look at all this rock work, and they did this by hand. There was no machinery back then.
I know.
That blows me away.
It's crazy. It's so cool to see castles like this so well preserved. I've seen tons of castles in Scotland, but honestly, they're just mostly ruins. So this one's really, really cool. Highly recommend coming to see it.
Yeah, I've loved it.
We're just talking about how we've been wandering in all of the different kind of like hallways and paths and up the staircases to the top of the, what are they called, like guard towers?
I guess so. Watchtowers.
Watchtowers.
But it's very twisty, turny.
We're talking about how
long tunnels.
Yeah, we were talking about how easy it would be to get lost, like back
Or
then and
just
now.
like fall to your death because these steps are so good.
Okay, take that out. Okay, so this castle is so much bigger than we
It's huge.
Yeah, we thought we were like, oh, it's just some like ruins we can look at. No, there's so many corridors down like every like little hallway, and there's towers you can go up to, as you've obviously seen in some of the videos. But then at the end, there's a multi-level museum.
Yeah, I want to say it was at least 3, maybe 4 levels.
Yeah.
And each floor was large.
You could have spent probably an hour and a half just in that section.
He just said people can spend up to 3 hours in the museum.
But the castle closes in like literally like 5 minutes. We've been here for an hour and a half. And so we're just like racing through, so much so that there's actually one of the guys that works here following us around in the castle, and I didn't realize because he's like locking the doors after us, and I turn around and there's literally a man with a shadow.
Well, wait a minute. She sent me into the dark corridor alone first to check it out, and little did she know that there was the employee behind coming, so she was by herself.
And I turn around and there's this man, and it's pitch black dark with his castle, so I screamed. Anyways,
He got a good laugh.
yeah, but it's been a great experience. Highly recommend this castle. My mom likes the bakery. Day 2, we drove over to Eryri National Park, formerly known as Snowdonia National Park. It covers a total of 823 square miles and is Wales' largest national park. It's famous for its incredible natural beauty and is home to Wales' highest peak, Snowdon, and Wales' largest natural lake, Bala Lake. There is so much to do in this national park, from scenic drives to endless hiking trails, quaint villages, and so much more. Today we are spending it in Eryri National Park. It's also known as Snowdonia in English, but Eryri, I hope I'm saying it correctly, is the Welsh name. So they're kind of going back to its roots. All the locals are calling it that versus Snowdonia as we say in English. But we are currently in Betws-y-Coed, which is a cute little town, and so we're going to walk around, see what there's to see.
And we're going to also be doing a trail to a waterfall. And that should be a lot of fun. But even the drive here was so cute and adorable. All the houses and the towns and the sheep are just so fun to watch.
We love the
seeing
sheep.
them. They just look so white against the, the dark green grass. And
yeah, it's
fun.
beautiful. And there's lots of mountain views. So we've been walking around, and it feels like a fairy tale. It's so lush and just like so many little like cobblestone houses and bridges, and the whole area is just super picturesque. Wow, this is so pretty. We just can't get over how pretty all the flowers and the stone, and it's just so naturally like beautiful and quaint. Found the coolest old church. Love this door. Mom. Oh my goodness. So we are about to hike to Swallow Falls, which is one of the most iconic and kind of famous things to do in this area from what we've read. We just walk down it and we shall see. So it does cost £2 to get in. So you just tap your credit card. They have contactless payment, and then you just walk through.
Oh, there it is. Wait for the green,
green arrow, but yeah, so super easy. So hike is a little bit of a strong word. It was just a paved staircase to get to this point. Super beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning. It's all the different like falls. It's not just like one big waterfall.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Really worth a quick little roadside stop. So there's paved staircases that you can take to different viewpoints of the waterfall. So there's one down in these trees, and then we were just on one on the other side. So this is the lower viewpoint. I don't think it's as good as the upper one, to be honest, but it's cool to be closer to the river and see all the other little waterfalls and all the lush greenery. Just got to Fairy Glen, which is another thing to do in this area. It's actually on a local farmer's property, and they're super nice, and
They're super nice.
Yeah, we actually met them. But you can, there's signs and everything, so once you park, you just pay. It's £1 per person, cash
for adults,
only.
50 for children.
50 pence, okay. Yeah, but for adults, most people I feel like watching this, it's £1, and you just pay in cash, and then you kind of go through a little farm gate, and then you walk along the property and walk to the Fairy Glen. Sounds so peaceful, the water, the birds chirping. There's lots of sheep on the property. They're just hanging out, chewing. I don't think I've ever seen brown sheep, honestly. They're kind of cute though. I wish they would come closer to us, but this guy is staring us down, just gnawing down on his grass. Oh my god! What in the world? What was that? Do you see anything?
Sideways.
It's a fighter jet.
I know. We've been seeing those quite a bit.
Are we going to war?
Sometimes it makes you nervous when you hear fighter jets going out of the country. We totally missed the sign and went the long way. So come with me to River Glen, the right way.
No, Fairy Glen.
Oh, Fairy Glen.
Yes. Yes, we went river, whatever that was.
Riverside.
Yeah, Riverside, but this trail connects all the way back over there, which is where the sheep were, and then we just basically took a long way along the river, and now we're gonna go to Fairy Glen. Oh my gosh, Mom. Oh my gosh, the light clicking through and the wildflowers. Ah!
Look at all the rocks down there. Like, they're so smoothed out from the water rushing.
Wow. This is what I was picturing. This is beautiful.
It looks like enchanted land.
Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful.
Like a scene from a movie.
Yeah, it feels like we're in a fairy tale right now. And that's why it's called Fairy Glen. But all of these rocks are just covered in the most beautiful moss, and the way the sun is just like peeking through the trees, and the river coming through this rocky, I don't know what this is called, cavern. So beautiful. One quick note is make sure that you wear sturdy shoes or boots on this trail, because there's lots of slippery rocks and pretty steep drop-offs to get down to where the Glen is.
When we were walking on the rocks, we noticed some of the rocks were really slick, not just wet, but kind of almost oily feeling. So just be really careful when you're placing your feet.
Pulled over on the side of the road because there is tons of sheep. This one is so cute. So we just started driving up one of the famous passes in Snowdonia National Park, Penny Pass, or Penny Pass. And this is one of the few pullouts that they have along the road. We've noticed there's not tons of pullouts like I feel like there is in the States. And oh my gosh, the views are so beautiful.
I got my first picture of sheep.
His mom ran across the road. There's a bunch of sheep over there, and she climbed up the hillside.
He was so cooperative. He looked up and smiled for me.
Anyways, it is so gorgeous. My mom, she's so short. She always stands on everything to try and take pictures. We're cracking up because we were told there was no pullouts on the side of this road, and we've already passed 5. We're not mad about it because this view is insane. And since I'm driving, I can't really like look around and take pictures. So I'm really thankful that we have this pullout. We are taking one of the most scenic routes in Snowdonia National Park.
And it has been unbelievable for our eyes. It's been wonderful to be here.
My mom is too much.
Cancel that.
No, it's too funny. Honestly, Wales is so underrated by Americans. I don't know if it's like this in other parts of the world, but I feel like everyone knows about Ireland and Scotland, but Wales is next level.
I could just stay here all day. It's so peaceful. And the sheep, I love it. I just love seeing this.
Next thing we know, Mom's gonna have a cottage. No, what? No, you're gonna have a cottage. What are you saying?
I was running after the sheep, being with them.
You're a psycho.
I know.
There's not even any sheep over here. While the drive to Peña Pass is very scenic and has a few pullouts to enjoy the views along the way, the pass itself has no pullouts with only one car park at the top that you need to pre-book a spot for from March to November. This car park is the start to some of the famous hiking trails up to Snowdon. We've heard they do sell out quickly, so plan in advance. We didn't have a parking reservation, so we just drove up and over the pass and stopped at pullouts before and after the pass itself. We just pulled over and we see this castle, so we're gonna go take a look and see if it's open, if we can walk around, see what's going on. Made it to the castle, and it is so cool. It's more of small castle ruins compared to the castle we were at yesterday, but you just have a super short path from the fence back there, and the road was back to the left. Another spiral staircase.
No rope this time.
In a castle. These are more ruins than the others. The windows, there's beautiful views of the water and the rock quarries. One thing we're learning is that I feel like there's endless stops and little pit stops you can make along the way on any of the scenic drives. So like this castle. We saw some sheep on the side of the road, and there's a baby lamb, and it is so cute. Oh my gosh. I don't know if it's just because we never see sheep, but we're obsessed with them. I think they're literally the cutest little animals. These sheep just don't even know they have the most beautiful home. Mountain views, a stream running right through their fresh grass property. So the mountain peaks that we were just looking at, these are all the names of them. So this is Snowdon that we were looking at right here. And then the Peña Pass that we drove, or Peña Pass, is right there that we drove and looped around. And there's tons of other mountains. You can see the names that people hike to that we would love to come back and hike We wanted to mention that there is so much to do in this national park, and I feel like we've hardly touched the surface.
We haven't even begun to put a dent in it.
Yeah, there are so many hiking trails that we honestly really wanted to do, but I can't remember if I mentioned, but my mom had hand surgery right before this trip. And so we ended up just not bringing any of our hiking gear or doing anything too strenuous. So we've just been going on more low-key kind of nature walks. But there is so much to do. Like, you could easily spend an entire week just in the national park. Stay tuned for part 2 of the Ultimate Wales Itinerary, where we road trip down the coast to South Wales, we hike along beautiful coastlines, visit a 6th century cathedral, walk around coastal villages, explore more castles, and a few surprise destinations, including a famous Harry Potter movie site. Hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss it.